Good morning, everybody. TGIT. Thank goodness it's Thursday. And as I always say, I've never been so happy to see a Thursday in all of my life. Today is Thursday, June 11th, 2020. And for our final potluck of the year, yes, you read that correctly, for the year, we are going to be discussing measurements and conversions. This was actually requested by one of my students on yesterday after class. So I just figured, hey, why the heck not? Measurements and conversions, you'll definitely see that on your science exam as well as your math exam. So I figured, let me kill two birds with one stone. Now, this is the beautiful thing about this particular concept, because I had another student who's really not my student, but she wanted a video on measurements. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to introduce conversions and measurement and all that good stuff today. I will continue with this topic on my Freebie Friday videos. Now, for those who are not familiar with what the heck is a Freebie Friday video, I take requests from my students or simply anybody that just want to request, I guess, and I will actually do a video on that particular concept. And I call it a Freebie Friday video simply because it is a complimentary video. And so with that being said, I am going to introduce conversions and measurements and all that good jazz on this video. But if you want more in-depth information and an explanation, check out the Friday video, and I will post it up on tomorrow. Okay, so if you have a video that you would like for me to do a concept on, just let me know. Leave it in the comments section, or if you have my information, contact me and we'll make it happen. And I do videos every Friday. Okay. Next Friday, I may not do a video simply because that will be my mother's birthday. And although she is not with me here on earth, she is with me in spirit. And so I will be celebrating Juneteenth, which is my mother's birthday, June 19th. So I may not do a video on next week, but we'll just see how it goes. Okay. So without further ado, we're getting ready to get it started. All right. And there's my toolbar. So now I'm simply just going to type. All right. And I'm going to make sure hopefully everyone can see this. Okay. So the definition, what is measurement? Measurement is simply when you measure stuff, when you find out how long something is or how wide something is or how deep something is. So I guess measurement, it deals with distance, it deals with time, it deals with a lot of different things. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. Measurement. Now, when I say distance, again, I can be talking about time as in minutes, seconds, hours, days, months, years. I can also be talking about inches, feet, yards, how heavy something is, the mass, the weight, the capacity. So when I speak on measurement, that's what I'm referring to. The distance of something. I'm going to put the distance or how heavy. Well, mass. I'll say that. The distance or mass of something. So how much something weighs, that can also go with pounds, ounces, tons, and all of that good stuff. But I will say this. But before I say that, I want to acknowledge the student that is joining us, as I always do. So because I heard the ding. Good morning.
Good morning.
How you doing, Robert? You doing all right?
Yes, ma'am. I'm okay.
All right. I'm happy to hear that. All right. So we're going to be talking about measurement today. And it's interesting. Hopefully, Miss Philomena will be joining us a little later, being as how she's the one that gave me this topic. So I just want to hopefully, make sure that she, can join us. All right. So measurement again, how to calculate the distance or the mass of something. All right. So there are two types. Oh, let me put that. Okay. There are two types of measurements or two ways to measure something. So you have the metric system, which deals with meters, grams, and liters, and that's all over the world. If you go to Europe, if you go to um, Asia, if you go to Africa, if you go to South America, if you go to any other place other than the United States, the metric system is used. Okay, so with the metric system, you deal with liters, meters, and grams. But no, the United States wanted to be different. They didn't want to be like everybody else. So they decided to create their own customary system, and that is called the U.S. Customary System. Okay, so with the U.S. Customary System, that deals more with the with cups, not grams, cups, pints, quarts, gallons, um, feet, inches, miles, and ounces and pounds and tons. Okay. Now, as I always tell my students, if you know how to multiply and divide, measurements are not going to be a problem. And I always say that simply because that's really what you're doing. When you're dealing with the metric system, you're multiplying and or dividing by powers of 10. When you are, okay, and we just have someone else joining us, so as always, I would like to acknowledge them. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Miss Philomena. How are you?
I'm good.
That's wonderful. We are talking about your topic, which is measurement. And again, I am going to introduce the different types of measurements today. And tomorrow on my Freebie Friday video, I will go into more detailed content about the different types of metric systems, metric system and the U.S. customary system. But today we're just getting a brief overview of how it all works. All right, so I am going to go ahead and start with the metric system. The metric system is actually easier, I think, because again, you're just multiplying and or dividing by powers of 10. That's really all you're doing. All right, so let me see. Hopefully I have enough room to do this because y'all know I write big and type big. So I'm going to start off with some prefixes, okay? Okay. I have kilo, hecto, and if you've had me before, this should look familiar to you. It honestly should. um, deca or deca, and I'll explain what that means in a moment. Okay. Then we have deci, centi, and oh, make sure I got enough room. Nope, I'm not gonna have enough room. Millie. Now, what I've typed right here, and I'm gonna try to have some space there. All right, so what I have typed here is what the metric system uses. So for example, we have kilo, hecto, deca, and it's spelled with a C or K, depending on where you live. The base units of measurement, deci, centi, and milli. Now, as a logophile, meaning I'm a lover of words, it's important to me that you all understand what these words or prefixes mean. So that way, when you come across a word, you can be like, oh, okay, I know what that means, and you can apply it. All right, so the prefix kilo means 1,000. So when we talk about a kilogram, we're saying that it's equal to 1,000 grams. Kilometer is equal to 1,000 meters, and a kiloliter is equal to 1,000 liters. Excuse me. Now, hecto is one that's really not used that much. It's kind of like that redheaded stepchild, but it is important for you to know because, again, when you're dealing with the powers of 10, it's easier for you to understand how these things work. So hecto is 100. Okay. So deca is 10. Like a decagon has 10 sides, a decathlon, you run 10 miles, a decade is 10 years. So anytime you see DECA or DEKA, because I've seen it spelled both ways, that's what that means. Now, the base units of measurement are simply, okay, you have your grams, which is the weight. You have your liters, which is the liquid capacity, and then you have your meters, which is the distance. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So now, and then you're going to see a pattern. So once you see the pattern, then you can stay with me. Okay. Now, grams, liters, and meters, they are all equal to simply 1. So you have 1 meter, 1 liter, 1 gram. Okay. So I'm going to put that in parentheses. Oh, all right. All right. Now, when we get to deci, DECI, that means that it's going to be 1/10 of something. So a decimeter is 1/10 of a meter. So I am going to write, hopefully I have enough space. I'll do it in a decimal because that way you can see it better. So that's 1/10 of something. Centi, as we know, means 100. So a centimeter is actually 1/100th of a meter. A centigram is 1/100th of a gram, and so forth. Okay. So cent is Latin for 100. So a penny is 1 cent or 1/100th of a dollar. A century is 100 years. So again, we know these words, we've used these words, we've seen these words, but sometimes we just, kind of ignore them. And I don't want you to do that. All right. And last but not least, there's milli. So we know a milligram is 1/1000th of a gram. A millennium is 1,000 years. A millipede has 1,000 legs. So the prefix milli means 1,000. But in this case, we are going to simply say 1/1000. Okay. Now, if you notice, there you're going to see powers of 10. And what I mean by powers of 10, I simply am talking about multiplying numbers by 10. So when we go from the left to the right, what are the numbers doing? When we go from left to right, what are the numbers doing? Are they getting smaller or are they getting larger? And if you don't know, you can just say, Miss Hampton, I don't even know.
They're getting smaller.
Yes, thank you, Miss Philomena. So yes, as we read from left to right, our numbers are getting smaller. Okay, I'm going somewhere with this, so stay with me. When we read going from right to left, what are the numbers doing?
Increasing.
The numbers are getting bigger. Thank you, Miss Philomena. So I want you to remember this. And I'm going to go in depth with more detail about this on my video for tomorrow. Okay. As you go from left to right, uh, so again, this goes along. So again, this really just goes along with what I said. As you go from left to right, the numbers get smaller. That means the numbers are being divided by 10. So quick example. Oh, all right, there we go. All right, so quick example. When I go from kilo to hecto, I've divided it by 10 because when I divide 1,000 by 10, I get 100. When I divide 100 by 10, I get 10. So as I'm going from kilo to hecto, I'm dividing the number by 10. I'm dividing each time that I go from my left to my right, I am dividing by 100. I mean, by 10, excuse me. Now, if I were to go from kilo to deca, then I would be dividing by 100 because 10 times 10 is 100. But when I divide 1,000 by 100, my answer is 10. So again, if you know how to multiply and divide, measurement is really not going to be a problem for you. And I'm saying that with the utmost confidence that I have, simply because this is just basic multiplication. So again, if I'm going from my right to left, if I'm going from Millie to centi, that means my number is getting larger. Okay? Because remember, when we go to the further we go this way, the numbers get larger. And if we go the opposite direction, which is from left to right, the numbers get smaller. So when I go from milli to centi, I am multiplying by 10, multiplying this by 10. And when I multiply 1/10 times 10, that gives me the answer of 1. Okay? And then 1 times 10 is 10. 10 times 10 is 100. And 100 times 10 is 1,000. So hopefully you all see that connection. And hopefully you have caught that connection. And if you didn't, it's quite all right. It's quite okay. All right. So what I want to do now is, and hopefully it'll let me do it on this page here. Probably won't. Oh, yes, it did. Praise God. Okay. So now what I want to do is I just want to do a couple of practice problems simply dealing with milliliters, kiloliters, all that other good jazz. Oh, I forgot to put this. Okay, well, I'll go ahead and write it. Kilo is represented by the letter K. Hecto is represented by the letter H. Deca, D-E-C-A or D-E-K-A, is represented by the A. Now, grams is G, liters is a capital L, and meters is a lowercase m. Deci is simply the letter D. Centi is the letter C, and milli is M. So let me make this very clear because I think every time I teach this particular lesson, a lot of people get thrown off by the abbreviations. So, for example, if I wanted to find out, let me see, for really, okay. So I have 400, I'm sorry, I have 4.92 kilograms. Okay. So the only thing I did was combine kilo with the letter K and grams with the letter G, and I have kilograms. Okay. So these are the abbreviations not only for each prefix and base units of measurement, but also when I combine them together. And I wanted to know how many grams was in the how many grams are equal to that. Moving your decimal is so simple. It's the easiest thing in the world, and I'm serious when I say that. I am going from kilogram, so I'm going from kilo here all the way to regular schmegular grams, okay? So when I do that, I am simply going to move 1, 2, 3. So however many times I moved up here, I am going to move my decimal the same amount. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3. So my answer is 4,920 grams. Now, as it relates to the whole mathematical sense of it all, I'm simply just going to take 492 or 4.92, excuse me. And because I'm going from left to right, that means I'm technically dividing. So I am dividing 1, 2, 3. I'm dividing this number by 1,000. Okay. But to keep it easy and to keep it on the safe side of things, I would just suggest that you move your decimal. And I honestly say that because when you take your test, you're really not going to have time to really sit out and multiply and divide all of these things. So again, this is just really a quick shortcut way of you converting from kilograms to grams or from centimeters to milliliters or whatever the case may be. Okay. Because remember, your math test is timed, your science test is timed. So I'm just giving you all tricks, tools, and techniques that can help you, speed up on this math thing. But they have tried and true and they work. Okay. So my next one, and I'm going to switch colors here. So my next one, I have 79 centiliters. And I want to know how many liters does that equal? So I'm going to go up here to my chart and I'm going to say, okay, centiliter. So that's represented by the C and the capital L. So centiliters, I'm going from centi to regular liters. So that means I'm going to move my decimal 1, 2 places to the right. Really? Okay. Now, I have a question. Where is my decimal in 79?
In front of the 7.
Well, that's where it will eventually be in front of the 7, but where is it here?
Behind the 9.
Behind the 9. That's it. Remember, whole numbers, your decimal is going to be behind the ones place. Again, we always think about money. Money is a great thing. So if you ever find yourself having trouble remembering, Think about somebody writing a check out to you, or you getting a paycheck and you see this, okay? So that's where my decimal is. So because my decimal is behind the 9, which is the ones place, I'm going to move it 2 places to the right. And as Robert said, my decimal is now in front of my 7. See how easy this stuff is? You're just moving decimals. Who knew?
Excuse me.
Yes, Miss Philomena.
It's still not clear from centiliter to liters. How many times did you move it? Did you count it on the line?
Yeah, okay. 1, 2. So do you see where I moved it?
You jumped the meter.
No. The base units of measurement are always equal to 1. So if I'm dealing with grams, I'm going to deal with grams. If I'm dealing with liters, I'm dealing with liters. If I'm dealing with meters, I'm dealing with meters.
Oh,
So because in the red, I have 79 centiliters, I'm dealing with liters. So
okay.
I'm going from centi,
One.
1, 2. So that's the reason why I moved my decimal 2 places over to the right, because I moved 2 places to the right. Okay, so does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Wonderful, wonderful. Good deal. And I'm going to erase that because that looks bad. All right. So again, if you know your left from right and your right from left, this is going to be real simple. But let me also say this. There are other measurements beyond kilo. Don't worry about them. And there are other measurements beyond milli. But again, don't worry about it. Just focus on what you see here. Okay. The reason why I wanted to bring it to your attention is simply because they're out there. Okay. But for the sake of conversation for this potluck, going into the Freebie Friday video, just focus on what you see. Okay. So because I get questions all the time about nano, pico, micro, mega, all of those types, giga, tera, and those are all part of measurements as well, but they are beyond the scope of this particular session. But just know that they exist and they're real. They out there. All right. All right. So I'm going to do one more, and I'm going to deal with meters. Now, don't be intimidated by the number. Um, I'm going to move this out the way. And that's a HM in case anybody's trying to see what that is. I ran out of space. All right. So I have 5,893.72 decimeters. And I want to know how many hectometers that's equal to. So first, I am going to look on my chart here. Decimeter. Okay, so I'm going from D to H. So that means I'm going to go over 1, 2, 3 places to my right. So because I'm moving 3 places to the right, that means I'm going to move my decimal the same amount. So when I do this, 1, 2, 3.
That's to the left, ain't it, Miss Hampton?
I mean, yes, I'm sorry, to the left. See, look at me. I don't even know my left from right. Why am I teaching y'all? But thank you for that correction, Mr. McFadden. But yes, I'm going to the left. So because I moved 3 places to my left, I'm going to do the same thing for my decimal. Now, the question I have is, what happened to the comma right here? Did it go away? Yes or no?
Yes.
It did. So again, do not be alarmed, please, by the fact, oh my God, I had a comma, it's gone. That's going to happen. Sometimes you may add commas. Sometimes you may take commas away, like we did in this instance. Okay. So now my answer is this. And I wrote it down there because, again, I didn't have enough room. Okay. So remember, when it comes to and this is the metric system. So when it comes to the metric system, again, if you know how to multiply and divide, this is really not going to be an issue. And unlike your teacher, if you know your left from right, then this is definitely going to be easy for you. Okay. Um, just trying to keep abreast of the time here. Again, I will get more in depth and more of a breakdown of an explanation on my Friday video for tomorrow. So again, I had another student request measurement, and so I just figured, hey, I can introduce it today, and tomorrow you can get the full breakdown. Okay. Now, do I have any questions about the metric system?
Do they give you a copy of the chart on the test?
Uh, no, I don't think they do. So again, you just have to make sure you know. Now I will say this: more than likely, you're only where is my okay. More than likely, you're only going to be dealing with kilo, centi, and milli, and the base units of measurement, simply because these are the popular ones, the ones that I have a black check mark by. Nobody really talks about hecto, nobody really talks about deca, and nobody really talks about deci. But again, for the sake of conversation, dealing with the powers of 10, I had to go ahead and add them in there so that way you could see the numbers itself, how when we go from left to right, the numbers get smaller. And when we go from right to left, the numbers get larger. Okay, so again, hopefully you made the connection between when to multiply and when to divide. Or you can just take, the simple way and just move your decimal. Okay, so again, you just may have to deal with the ones that are check marked in black. But again, I just wanted to introduce all of it to you because that's just what I do. Okay. But that was a very good question, Mr. McFadden. Now, I am going to go to another page and I'm going to do a lot of typing. Well, it's not really going to be a lot, but I'm going to try not to make it a lot. All right. Ooh. Oh. Now, again, America really wanted to be smart or smarter than everybody else. And America did not want to use the metric system. So, of course, the powers that be, whoever they were at the time, decided, hey, let's create our own U.S. customary unit systems of measurement. Now, this is what we are familiar with. Okay, we are familiar with, and actually, let me do this. Let me go back. All right, do this real quick. All right. So they have divided these actually into three different parts. So the first one I want to talk about, which to me is the easiest, is the weight, capacity. So when we talk about weight, we are simply talking about ounces, pounds, and tons. Okay. Now, I don't know who came up with this. It wasn't me. I'm not Dr. Hampton of mathematics yet. But when I find out, I'll find you all and explain why they did what they did. But I don't know. I'm like y'all, I don't know. So we know that 16 ounces, or OZ, so that's the abbreviation for ounces. We know that 16 ounces equal how many pounds? And if you don't know, you can just say, I don't know.
1 pound.
1 pound. I'm going to go ahead and put the abbreviation for those. This. All right, here we go. Now, I don't know how they got LB from pound. I'm like, I don't know. Okay. Now, we understand that 16 ounces equal 1 pound. So if 16 ounces equals 1 pound, I'm going somewhere with this, so stay with me. How many ounces are half a pound?
8 ounces.
How did you get that, Mr. McFadden?
Half of 16.
There you go. See? Math. See, if you know how to multiply and divide, this is not going to be a problem. See how easy this stuff is? All right. Oops. Oh, come on now. All right. Equals 1/2 of a pound. LB. Oops. All right. Now, so that lets me know that ounces are counted by multiples of 8. So 24 ounces would be equal to 2 pounds. 48 ounces would be equal to 3, and so forth. That nature. Now, I know y'all looking at this like, what is Miss Hampton doing? I'm going somewhere with this, so stay with me. How many ounces would it take to equal 2,000 pounds, which is equal to 1 ton? Again, I'm going somewhere with this, so stay with me. Don't leave me just yet. And if you don't know, just say, Miss Hampton, I have no idea. Any takers?
Give me 1 second.
Okay. Now, if you're working it out, let a sister know.
125 ounces.
Nope.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe if I write it this way, you'll probably get it. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Oh, that is so ugly. Do, 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 do. This looks familiar. La, 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 la. Doesn't this look like a proportion? And I know we've gone over proportions once upon a time. How do I solve proportions?
32,000.
How did you get that, Mr. McFadden?
I multiplied 16 times 2,000.
See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? Do, 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 do. So, again, if you know how to multiply and divide, this is not going to be a problem for you. It's really not. All right. The next one that I want to talk about is distance. Now, when we talk about distance, we are talking about the good old inch. We're talking about inches, feet, yards, and miles. That's what we're referring to when we talk about distance. Okay. Let me skedaddle. All right. So I am going to start with the easiest thing of them all. How many inches are in a foot?
12.
12. So there are 12 inches. And I'm going to put the abbreviations next to it. And that equals 1 foot. Which FT. So let me ask you this question. If 12 inches equal a foot, how many inches equal half a foot?
6.
6. Because I divided it. So of course I'm going to put that up here. Okay, so that's 1.5 feet. And again, FT. All right. All right. So now I have 12 inches equaling a foot. Oh, I'm silly. So how many inches? I was right. I'm silly. How many inches equal 3 feet?
36.
36. And this is also equal to 1 yard. All right. Now, how in the world did we get that? That's very simple. We just multiplied 3 times 12, and it gave us 36. Oops. It would help if I wrote the right number, huh? All right. All right. All right. Now, this is going to be the kicker. I want you to find out for me how many inches. Oops. How many inches are equal to a mile? Now, the good news is I'm going to give you some other numbers that can help you out potentially. Uh, I knew that was going to happen. Okay, there we go. Now, the hint is it's going to be a very large number. That's all I can tell you. So I want to know how many inches equal 1 mile, which is equal to 1,760 yards, which is equal to 5,280 feet. Ooh.
Is it 929 2800?
Mm-mm. But I like how you think. Oh, let me make this bigger. Something is telling me I may need to make that bigger. And I may need to move that over just a smidge. Okay. Mm-hmm.
7040?
Mm-mm. It's a larger number than that.
Huh?
It's a larger number than that.
I will say 63, 6,360.
That is correct, Miss Philomena. How did you get that? What you do?
Multiplied by 12.
You did what? I couldn't hear you. I'm sorry. You multiplied.
Multiplied by 12.
Yes. So what you're going to have to do is you're basically going to have to multiply 12 times 5,280. Because remember, 12 inches is equal to a foot. So if we multiply this number by 12, we should get this big number right there. But all of these inches equal 1 mile. Now, I can tell you that we are running out of time, but I will say this. Tomorrow for my Freebie Friday video, I am going to be talking about I guess the liquid capacity, the cups, pints, the meters, cups, pints, quarts, gallons, half gallons, all of that good stuff. So I will be sure to have that video for you all tomorrow, along with some supplemental worksheets that can help you practice this. Okay. Um, Miss Philomena, did you have a question?
No, I'm okay.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, I'm okay.
All right. So remember, oh, you can go ahead and put yourself back on mute, Miss Philomena. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, so again, remember there are two types of measurement systems. Again, and you have the metric system and the U.S. customary system. Now, of course, the U.S. of A is the only one that deals with cups, feet, ounces, all of that good stuff. Everybody else deals with meters, liters, and grams. I don't know why. I guess America just wanted to be smart. I don't know. Okay. So again, tomorrow on my Freebie Friday video, I will be discussing cups, pints, quarts, half gallons, and gallons. And again, if you know how to multiply and divide, this is not going to be a problem. As a matter of fact, it's going to be quite easy because you know how to multiply and divide. Okay, so I have 5 minutes left. And so what I want to do is I want to say this to you all. But before I say what I need to say, do I have any other questions about measurement for today? Well, no news is good news to me, as I always say. How do we feel about measurement? Was this a refresher for you? Was this like, okay, I remember this and now I understand it? Give me some feedback.
Now I remember, yes, for the metric conversion. That's okay.
Okay. Okay, very good, Miss Philomena. Thank you so much. Mr. McFadden and or Robert, would you like to chime in and give me some feedback on measurements?
I'm getting it.
Okay. Okay. All right. So again, you'll definitely see this more than most times on your math, and you may also see this on your science GED as well. So just be mindful of that. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop the screen share. And there we go. All right. So as you all are aware, today is my last day teaching you all. Now, Ms. Hampton is in definite need of a vacation. Okay, so this is my last day of teaching you all. I did send out an email to you all on yesterday explaining how everything is going to be transitioning for you all. So if you have any questions about that, please talk to me offline because we're still recording. Okay.
When are you coming back?
Well, I'm going on vacation, Miss Philomena. Okay. Um,
Missy!
Well, I need a break. I've been, doing this straight since last year, and so as a teacher, as a human, I need a break. But I can assure you that you all will be in good hands. Now, with that being said, um, I will still be doing my Freebie Friday videos. So if you have a request on that, you are more than welcome to text me. But Monday through Thursday, I will really be on vacation. So yeah, let's just kind of, hey, Miss Hampton, hope you're doing well. Let's have them kind of conversations, okay? But seriously, because I am in dire need of
Who
some
will be
rest
teaching us?
time, ma'am.
Who will be teaching us? As from the
Okay, I sent you an email, Miss Philomena. Please make sure that you check it.
okay.
Okay. Again, the email was sent out yesterday. So make sure that you check the email and make sure that you are subscribed to my channel, the YouTube channel. So that way, with any notifications, any new videos, any announcements that I make, any updates come, you will be sure to be the first one to get them. Okay. Um,
Excuse me, Miss Hampton.
yes, Miss Philomena.
But you said for only English class for Broadwater, 10, 10 to 10, 12. Is math inclusive?
Okay, what's your okay? I couldn't understand you, Miss Philomena. So hold on 1 second, okay? Let me finish this quick announcement and then I can hopefully answer your question. Okay, so I have hot 60 seconds left. So I want to say this. It has been an honor, a joy, a privilege, and a pleasure working with you all this year. You all have really made my job very, very easy. With a couple of challenges, as always, but I would not be the nerdy educator that I am without you. So I really do appreciate you all's commitment, your due diligence, and coming to class, and even the flexibility of going from face to face to the virtual scene right now because of Auntie Rona and Uncle Virus. But again, this has been a wonderful year for me. I think one of the best years that I've had. Every year it gets better. So for that, I am eternally grateful for you all, for allowing me to be myself, to be authentically real, and to be the nerdy educator that I am. So I owe all of that to you all, and to any of my students that are watching this playback. I humbly and sincerely thank you as well. Um, Again, Ms. Hampton needs a break. I am overdue for one. So I am going to take this time out to rejuvenate, to recharge, to replenish my spirit. And we just gonna see. That's my alarm going off. And we just gonna see, what the end is gonna be you know so I want you all to continue to study, practice. Make sure that you watch these videos on my channel. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. If you have any questions as it relates to the video, leave it in the comment section in the video, and I will be sure to respond back, because again, I will be making updates and other types of videos and things like that. So please make sure that you are not only subscribed to my channel, but make sure you hit the notification bell so that way you can get any video from little old Miss Hampton. Okay, so with that being said, again, I humbly thank you all so very much. I really love each and every one of you, and there is absolutely, emphatically nothing that you can do about it. So this is not a goodbye. This is more like a see you later. I don't like saying the word goodbye, but please just know that my videos are there for you. We have extra resources available, and you all will be left in good hands. Okay, so continue to study, continue to work hard, continue to make me proud, and above all else, make yourself proud because you owe that to yourself. Okay, so until next time. Bye. It went to a whole nother screen. I was like, what? Okay. All right, y'all. Y'all be blessed.